Welcome back! Welcome back! We are, of course, continuing through with the losers bracket of the IEM Paulo Qualifiers. I am Rifkin, joined today by Penguin. And Spawning here in the top left corner of the map, playing for Team Liquid. Big shout out to Team Liquid for retweeting this event. It is Liquid Snute.
And his opponent spawning in the bottom right spawn location, playing for Alien Invasion. He's going to be our blue Terran player, Regenge.
Yeah, and as Penguin was saying before he got into the game, Regenge hasn't had a lot of opportunities to show himself. His performance has been pretty decent in, weekly cups. He hasn't really won anything big, though, is the problem. There's been no monthly victories under his belt, but as we've seen, guys, he's pretty good at picking out the weaknesses of his opponents. He was able to analyze Steffel pretty well in game number 1 and take advantage of it in game number 2. Snute, though, is a different class of Zerg player. Not to say he's better or worse than Teffel, but the reality is he's just a different type of player. I don't think Regenge is going to get such an... how do I say this? Like an easy read off of Snute. Because Snute is a player who, while he certainly enjoys his roaches, is capable of anything.
Yeah, that's true. And, I mean, Roach Hydra, even though we've seen it a lot the last couple of days, is by far not the standard versus Terran. But you know what else is not the standard? Going pool first.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Not, well, it's not like it was like a 10 pool or anything like that, right? It's
no,
just getting links out a little bit earlier.
It's not like super different, but it's a little weird.
I would love if this ended up being like a blind pool where you just want to get links across the map really fast anyway.
I don't know, that'd be kind of weird, but hey, it can work, but it wouldn't do very well against a Reaper opening, so... Although, I'm not sure if this is going to be Reapers. Like, it should be by all accounts. Okay, it is. But last game, Regenge also went with this gas timing and just made 2 Marines for a faster factory.
Yeah, that bunker was so cool but so weird, and the fact that it got 2 roaches with it almost made it worthwhile. Like, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, he salvaged that bunker too. I don't know. Regenge was some cool stuff for sure. Some unique stuff, we should say at the very least. But 6 links coming out pretty quick here. Reaper will probably not be that big of a threat. I guess when you go pool first, on top of having the lings out earlier, more importantly, you get the queen out faster. And what's actually really neat about this is if Snute skirts these along the sides of the map, Teffel's gonna, or sorry, not Teffel, Regenge is gonna get here and think, oh, Snute doesn't have lings out yet. This is typical, and won't leave that second Reaper at home to defend the command center. This is actually really cool out of Snute. I like this. But the Reaper is, I was gonna say awkwardly gonna run into the lings anyways, but never mind. Yeah,
okay, so this is kind of cool. I think this is actually timed out specifically so that he can try to get a cancel on this CC.
Yeah.
Regenge should know that at least something is coming by seeing the pool is already done. Actually, the pool would be done anyway, but I think he saw that oh, actually, he didn't actually see that was pool first. Although the queen kind of shows that.
Yeah,
but
this queen is out
okay,
so
so he is leaving a Reaper home. Leaving that Reaper home.
But he can still send 2 links on the SUV.
Oh no,
he gets a surround! Oh no!
That's actually disastrous.
That is, because now the command center will not get built anytime soon. He's building a reactor. This command center might not even get canceled, Penguin.
Should actually. He's
Normally,
bringing the Reaper across the map home.
I don't think it's gonna matter.
Going to be back nowhere near in time.
This sucks for Regenge. Snute going pull first in a really cool way. Manages to take advantage of what this is basically a metagame is what this is, or the metagame, because this is what every Terran player does. This is what you can read off them without knowing who they are. This Reaper is going to dance with these lings, but it's not going to kill them quickly. This
and it doesn't even like. The lings are fine if they don't kill this Reaper. Like, they've already... Wow, that was a little scary.
They killed a Reaper. They canceled command center. Yeah. I mean, a cancel on the command center is not the same as a kill on the command center, obviously, but still, really well handled so far. Reaper is, of course, really low. Has to be careful. Snute going to force a little bit of damage on the barracks. Not a lot, but definitely got his money worth with these lings. Now has a whole base up on his opponent. Terran, of course, really need that 3rd command center coming out here because he has to make up for that deficit with mules.
Yeah, so the 3rd CC is actually coming out at a fairly normal timing despite all of this, which is a little earlier than we probably would have seen it anyway, like you said, just because he has to catch up. And one of the other ways he's going to want to try to catch up is once again going for Hellion Banshee play. We can see Hellion's being pumped out now. Actually, only 1 right now. He's a little supply block, dropping his supply depot.
Well, not only that, but he can't afford more. I mean, when you go for this 3rd CC as early as this is, that's 400 resources.
Yep.
But okay, Snute is actually taking his third. This is going to work out quite nicely for him. If he gets his creep spread out fast enough, I don't think he's going to have any problems. And he is going to go for the Roach Warren. I don't know that this would necessarily... Because this is the thing about Snute, right? Like, he'll make roaches to dance around in the mid to the early game. Like, you know, he doesn't necessarily need to dedicate to Roach Hygiene the same way Tefl does that we saw earlier. He might just make, like, say, 8, maybe even less than that, just to deal with the Hellions.
He may well do that. The question is whether he's actually going to get them done in time. We see the Hellions with the initial Reaper that still survived, pushing across the map here. Okay, there are some roaches on the way. Only 2 for now, though. Snute getting a bit supply blocked, and actually only just now starting an Overlord. So he may have a little bit of trouble holding on to this third for now. None of these are really super fast damage dealing units, but he could try to do some damage to it to soften it up for the Banshees.
He's also got Zergling speed finish, so he does have to be careful. Hellions, of course, we all know do kind of innately beat Zerglings unless they get surrounded.
But on creep, it's very possible to surround them.
Yeah.
So he's got to try to delay that creep spread. He's doing an okay job so far.
Well, gonna try and sneak around this. Regenge did not see those lings.
Another little run by here would be very, very nice for Snute. There's not really all that much sitting at home. He's kind of just rallying everything across the map.
Oh, there's not even a bunker up yet. Much less a full wall off. Oh man, Snute with the backdoor lings constantly. We do have a Spore Caller coming down at the third base, expecting Banshees, of course. There's a couple roaches here. He should be able to fend this off, but lings do get into the natural. And this one Marine doesn't stand a chance.
There's nothing to deal with this.
No.
Oh my god, I was gonna say he's got to wait for the next Hellions to spawn, but he's already taken the Reaper. He's already taken the reactor off the factory, and this is disastrous again.
Supply Depot. Supply Depot is at 29 out of 30 as well. That kind of sucks for Regenge, of course, but only loses a couple SCVs. But that's all the lings needed to really make this a cost-effective trade. Also brings the entire army of Regenge back home.
Bringing everything home. Really just sucks for Regenge. He can't really put any pressure on now while the Spire is being made. He killed off a couple of drones on the other side of the map, but only 4 have died this entire game. Regenge is just getting further and further behind by these little movements that Snute's doing. Snute's up 63 or 62 to 37 workers.
It's kind of absurd, too. This is almost a complete role reversal of that last series that we saw versus Tefl, but Banshee does cloak, is moving forward, knows there's Spore Callers at the third. Will he go for the natural? There's a Spore Caller there waiting for him to, along with an Overseer, so limited on what he can do. That Spire popping is going to be really scary, too, because let's not forget, with all the Hellions invested this early, not denying any creep spread, not denying anything else, most importantly, slowing down the Marine production by using the reactor means there's not going to be a lot of anti-air readily available.
Well, what do we actually have on the map for Regenge right now? He's up to 45 workers, which is a reasonable number with triple mules, but he doesn't have any medevacs yet. He's only going to just now start producing medevacs around the 11-minute mark, which really, really is going to hurt. And as you said, nothing is really going to deal well with these mutas. He doesn't have enough to do critical damage. There are Marines out here. They do have stim. Even if it's not a huge number, there's not a huge number of mutas coming out either.
Oh, this could be good for the Hellions. Oh, but the drones get us around. Yeah, Snute handled that so nicely. How many workers did he even lose? All right, a couple, but not
3.
too many. Yeah.
Yeah. And down goes a Cloak Banshee, too, to these mutas. The other one trying to get away as quickly as it possibly can.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah, this is looking already very, very bad for Regenge. He's going to try to go back into the main with this Banshee by the looks of it. Very ballsy. It should work. The mutas are about halfway across the map already.
But what can this Banshee really do? It's so limited. There's a Spore Caller protecting the mineralized. It maybe kills the Queen. Maybe, if that.
At best.
It'll kill a couple drones here out of the range of the Spore Caller, but the Queen just needs to move in to start shooting it. It is, of course, in detection range.
Nice. He knows he's going to lose it anyway, so he's just trying to get as much as he can for it. He got 4 workers there, and he is actually going to escape for now. I wouldn't be surprised if he poked back in again to try to deal with that, or try to get a couple extra kills on that little Banshee.
Missile turrets from Regenge are actually really important there. They did keep the low count of Mutalisks out of the base. Of course, Snute did kind of skip past Zergling, skip past Bailing, so his Mutalisks out a little bit earlier, but not nearly as much as you might normally want. Third base is going to try to be claimed here by Regenge, but of course, Creep. Oh man, Creep. Such a. You know what? I'm going to take a moment here. The Terran in me needs to say, what a scumbag mechanic this is. Because it's not like you can clean this up any faster. You have to wait the full 43 seconds in game before you can land that command center.
Yeah. That really hurts, doesn't it?
But no, it's a part of the game, and creep is a big deal. And if you leave an Overlord to creep spread like this, well, you're asking for that trouble. This is a big problem why creep tumors often get out of hand and become problematic later on. If you start blocking bases with a creep tumor, I mean, come on. You see how annoying the Overlord is, and that's like half the size of a creep tumor.
Yeah. Well, we do have Revenge finally trying to get active with these units on the ground, but I just don't know if he has enough to do this. There's a lot of mutas out. There's a lot of lings.
Widow Mines
Good
are
pick
not
off
even gonna get hit, yeah. The problem too with the Widow Mines is the splash damage has been so heavily hit with this that killing off Mutilisks, it's possible with a clump, but you still need like 4 solid hits, and that's so difficult to do when there's an Overseer around.
Another problem here is Baneling speed's done. There's nothing to do. Ooh, great
Not
hits
bad
with
hits.
so that's nice.
Yeah,
And
that's actually
actually
coming
looking
back.
up towards Snute back. Yeah. We do have Snute with 2-2 on the way. He is ahead in the upgrades here. His upgrade advantage is gone in. Well, now it is because 1-1 just completed for Revenge. Revenge actually closing up the supply gap, doing a very good job with this so far. Still sitting at actually he's up to 66 workers, so nicely done on his part. The problem now is that he doesn't have the mines. He's only got 4 mines, and I actually cast the Go for SC2 monthly final in November, so it was the October final. So, and actually I noticed there that he doesn't like heavy counts of Widow Mines. He just likes a couple. He never adds a 3rd factory, and actually it looks like he did add a 2nd factory, I mean.
If we're going to be realistic, Widow Mines are not nearly as reliable as they used to be, so low counts on them
they're
are
not.
a problem. Would
Drilling
love to
Claws
see
coming out.
Thors.
Yeah, Thors would be great.
Of course, the reason you didn't used to see Thors, guys, was Widow Mines got the job done. You didn't need the splash damage. Thors perform 2 great tasks, though. They do soak a lot of hit in the front lines, whether it's the Banelings, whether it's the Zerglings. But more importantly, they keep the Mutilisks kind of in check. But those Baneling connects on top of the Marines were pretty good. Revenge taking a hefty hit there, but Snute has to use a lot of Banelings to make that work. Meanwhile, Mutilisks do find their way into the main. Contaminate goes down on the factory. Wasn't building anything, but this also prevents it from making a tech lab again anytime soon.
Alright, so we have a drop from Revenge coming into the main. There's not that much to ward this off for now. The great creep spread that Snute has, he can get some units back there quickly, but not before Revenge gets something done here. He's going to be able to move into these 8 Marines, and how much damage can he do?
The
Apparently
Banshee.
nothing yet.
I'm surprised he's not bringing the Banshee with this too. That Banshee that lived earlier. We will run by.
Nice. We also have a big engagement at the middle of them. Dying off to the Widow Mines very, very quickly here. Another run by in the 3rd.
Yeah, the run by doesn't get much done though. The bunker protects it. The main base actually took the most damage out of all of that. But Snute continuing to press his issue, his advantage in the middle of the map. Baneling still rolling into these Marines. He might be off of creep, but it's okay. If the supply depot's down, that bunker will get surrounded. Snute will clean this up with the Banelings and coming back home with these medevacs. Can he hold on to this? This is a lot of links for him to dance with. 2 Banelings could roll into that mineral line and kill so many SCVs. Snute realizes perhaps
but the Widow Mines burrowing won't get the hits they need. And this is looking worse and worse for Snute. Revenge's drop is still alive, but he's not doing damage anywhere near as quickly as Snute is.
Yeah, Mutilisks clean up everything there. I'm still waiting for those Banelings to roll into the SCV line, but they don't. They go for the main instead. There are some new Marines, there are some Widow Mines, but the Banelings are going to roll right on in. Widow Mine gets a pretty good hit off, but it's not even going to be enough. There's 2 more behind this. The Widow Mine's unburrowing not to go off on the lings. Such good control here out of Revenge. He needs them for the Mutilisks, but he's not going to get those hits. Those 2 roaches made early on in the game still standing, still killing units here on the front line. A little bit of a weird thing to see considering these were made purely for the Hellions.
Yeah. And the last couple of Widow Mines do go off. Revenge plummeting in supply. Snute leading by almost 100 at this point, and this is just going to be it.
This is out of hand.
That Revenge can do.
The 3rd base is standing, but it's the only income. There's not enough production. He can't spend the money he's getting. This is not looking good. The Mutilisks have there's no answer to these Mutilisks. Good game is called. Snute will take game number 1. Congratulations to him.
Good play. Very, very well played by him. I loved that that 2nd ling run by as well.
Oh, that was so good. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
the first one I've seen a lot of because Rainer, who's well, Rainer's one of my teammates. He likes to do that a lot. So I've seen it from him, but I haven't seen it from anyone else. And Snute pulled that out really nicely, and then the follow-up was really, really sick as well, just sneaking those 10 lings by.
The big thing too was catching that Reaper, dude. If he never caught that Reaper, those lings would not have done as much damage as they did. They wouldn't have canceled.
No, they wouldn't have. That was more of a mistake than a sick play, but it allowed him to complete his sick play.
Well, next game's coming up, guys. We'll toss out some quick ads. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just 30 seconds. Oh, those hiccups.